So hello and welcome to Thermomixing with Donna. So tonight we're going to do all things breakfast, and the Thermomix is really handy to help you out with breakfast in the morning. Now I did have a few little technical difficulties before, basically with my laptop, so it's nothing to do with the Thermomix, but it's not connecting to the Thermomix for some reason. So my recipes have not pulled over as they should have done. But it could also be due to it's just had an update today. So sometimes they get a little bit, unsure of themselves, our Thermomixes, after they've had an update. So we've got the TM7, our lovely TM7, which I've just noticed I haven't got my cap on. And then we've got our TM6. And I'm going to use both machines. So in my cooking classes, if you're familiar with my cooking classes, you know that I do something in the 6 and something in the 7 because I've got customers that I've got both models. And we also have customers with a TM31 and a TM5. So if you haven't heard, I did actually send a newsletter out literally in the last hour, that the TM7 has now got an upgrade available. So if you've got a TM31, a TM5, or a TM6, you can upgrade it and get a little bit of money off your TM7. So if you haven't seen that email, I'll let Emmeline post a link to the graphic for it if she can find it into the chat. But basically it's $250 off if you've got a TM31. It's $450 off if you've got a TM5, or it's $750 off if you've got a TM6. So if you've got a machine that's got an issue, for instance, it might be worth looking at an upgrade rather than paying that money on the service. All right. So the recipes we're going to be doing today, as I said, it's all things breakfast. So we're going to get started because the recipe that I'm going to do, one takes about 25 minutes, the other takes about 15, but there will be quite a bit of downtime in the middle so I can talk through some stuff. So we're going to use the TM7 for our main recipe tonight. So for our TM7, we're going to be using the bowl, and we're going to make boiled eggs in the Thermomix using the egg boiler mode. And we're also going to do smashed avocado with like a salsa topping, which is actually looks pretty cool. Almost a bit like bruschetta, like a bruschetta top. So in the TM7, I'd like to show you first of all, because I've just noticed that, oh no, it is in here, I'm sure. One of the features that the TM7 is really, really good for. All right, and I know that this is definitely working, so I'm going to give it a shot. So what we do with our Cookie Doo, so if I go to Cookie Doo on my phone, so this is the Cookie Doo app. Now, you probably won't be able to see it from where you are, but I'm hoping you'll see it work on the screen. So I'm going to search for the smashed avocado recipe, which is what we're doing today. So just smashed. And if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, if you've got background noise, please, that would be lovely. Avocado. So we're doing smashed avocado, marinated. The recipe. So smashed avocado, marinated tomatoes, and boiled eggs on toast. So it now brings up an option to send to TM7. So I'm going to click the send to TM7. And you just watch the TM7 screen. And there you go, it's done. So that's how easy it is, and how big that screen is. I mean, how cool is that big screen versus the little screen? All right, so we're going to get cracking with this recipe. So I'm just going to wash my hands and I'm going to hit the start button. And we are going to start with the first couple of ingredients, which I was organised and now I realised I'm not organised. So I do apologise. I normally am organised with this, but due to technical difficulties, I am not as organised as I was. Right, now then. So what are we putting in first? Let's have a look. So it's garlic, and so we want garlic and virgin olive oil. So the only thing that was missing was the garlic. Now I'm cheating today, and you know me, I like to cheat where I can, if I've got the option. So ordinarily, I like to use fresh garlic, but I did a big recipe the other day. So this says 1 to 2 garlic cloves, and I normally put in 1 to 2 teaspoons of garlic paste because I love garlic. So I'm just going to put that in, and that's obviously garlic paste. It's not a garlic clove, so it doesn't generally need that blitz that it will be asking for. Then we've got the extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to tick off the cloves. Then the olive oil. Now this again, you know me, if you watch me regularly, I don't like waste. So this is some leftover olive oil from my sun-dried tomatoes that were in oil. So I'm just going to use that, add a little bit of flavour into our dish today. Oh, come on, give me that drip. I want it to tick it off. And you get quite, there we go. There we go. All right, now it's going to tick it off. I really do like that function. It ticks it off and it's like, yay, you did it. Bit random, I know, but you know, there's a child in me somewhere. Okay, so let's go next. So then it says chop 5 seconds, speed 7. Well, to be fair, there's nothing to chop. So I'm going to skip that step because we haven't got the garlic clove in there. Now it says mix with the spatula. Look here, I didn't get my spatula out either. Now, if you haven't seen the TM7, the TM7 comes with a very different spatula. It's like a machete. It looks very different. I do like it, but I do prefer my little one. So if you watch me regularly, you'll know I love my little spatulas. I do have these on Cleveland Market if you're anywhere near Cleveland. Obviously, if you're overseas, I can't help with that. But I do have some of these on the stall. Now I'm just going to mix that round just so that it looks like it would have been had it been a garlic clove that's been chopped. So I'm going to go next. And then it wants me to chop it again. So obviously I'm not going to do that because there's nothing to chop. So I'm going to skip. Now it says saute for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to pop the lid on and I'm going to hit play. And that's it. So it's going to do 5 minutes, 90 degrees, speed 1. Now the benefit is it's silent. Can't hear it at all. Now I'm going to show you a comparison. You probably won't hear this yourself, but if I got a home screen and I put this on just for 35 seconds on speed 1, that you can hear. Can't hear this one at all. So that is definitely a big bonus of this machine versus the 6. All right, so while that's doing that, I'm going to get our eggs prepped. So let's go to our other recipe on Cookie Doo. So into my week, so 3 little lines into my week, and then we're going to go to steamed eggs. Now, steamed eggs, I'm going to go start cooking. So it says place 400 grams of water. Again, I'm very badly organised today, so I'm just going to very quickly grab some water. And this doesn't need to be cold water or warm water. You could speed up the process, I suppose, and put in warm water. Oh, or fall short like I did then. I'm usually, when I'm doing any steaming in my Thermomix, 500 grams is normally my go-to. It's like I've got a prostate problem. Right. Now then. Okay, so we're going to go next. It says place simmering basket onto mixing bowl lid. And then we're going to heat it. So that's now going to heat for 5 minutes as well. Now, I'm not going to bother with the steam basket on because it's just a little bit of water in the bottom. So I'm just going to turn the dial, speed 1, and that's going to cook now for 5 minutes. It's saying to line the Veroma, so it gives you instructions on what to do. So it says line the Veroma tray with some baking paper. So what I've done is I've got the baking paper with enough to go up the sides. I've wet it so it makes it much easier. So I'll get you a bit closer so you can see. And then I've got 2 little egg rings. Now you don't need to have these, but I just like to keep my eggs in shape. So I'm going to pop my eggs into that. And then what I'm going to do is I've got 2 eggs ready to go. All right, so I'm just going to pop these gently into, there's one. There's my second one. There we go, pop that into there. All right. And I'm going to pop the lid on like so. And then once this is ready to go, we'll be popping it on the top. So it says, oh, actually, no, let me read the instructions, shall I? Because it's useful. Believe it or not, I couldn't cook before I got my Thermomix. So if I don't follow the instructions, yeah, it doesn't it doesn't work. All right, so it says, oh, add a teaspoon of oil. Oops, well, I've already put water on there, so it'll be fine. Then you break your eggs in, so I've already done that. And then it says season with salt and pepper. So let's do that, shall we? Let's season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, if you don't have a nice salt and pepper shaker, this is a really good one. These are available in the mix shop. Just a little bit of salt over the top, like so. that, and then a little bit of pepper. There we go. Salt and pepper, done. And then the little spoon sits inside. It's so cute, like that. And then it just magnetizes round. So I love this in my kitchen. Use it all the time. Again, they are available in the mix shop. So if you're looking to do a mix shop order at any point, that is something to do. So then it says, season with salt and pepper, optional. You can put a little bit of paprika on as well if you like. I'm just going to put salt and pepper on for today. And that is just sitting now, ready for the next step. So we'll go next, and it's going to do 2 minutes. So it's basically getting up to temperature. So at the moment it's at 65 degrees. So it is getting up there. Meanwhile, this has got 57 seconds to go. So the other breakfasts that we were thinking about with the smashed avocado, we've also got things like you've got a protein shake. You've got, so if I go back in here and I go back to home. So I've got in here, I've got in the Carder, the 4-ingredient muesli, which you can make in 5 minutes. There's also the protein shake. There's lots and lots of protein shakes in there. My favorite at the moment is the almonds, apple and almonds overnight oats. Oh, I'm so in love with it. They are so good. So that's a really good recipe to make it ahead of time and have something really healthy to have in the morning before you go out the door. Or even if you're one of these that's worked really early, you take it with you because you can make it ahead of time in jars and then just scoop it out. Now, I do have a video on my YouTube channel of me making that. And had I not had technical issues earlier, I was also going to make some of that because I need some for tomorrow because I haven't got any. But I will make that after the class. So by clicking on the little cooking center at the top, it took me straight back to the recipe. So I'm going to go next. Now it's asking me to add all my ingredients. All right. Now it's sauteed the garlic and onion. Smells amazing in the bottom of there. All right, and then we're going to add in our tomatoes. So with these tomatoes, I've halved them and I've taken out the seeds so that they're not going to be too runny. All right, so we want 350 grams. And I'll try and get it so that it doesn't go over. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Love it. All right. So we've got that. Then we've got granulated sugar. Now, this is where you've not got to put the salt in by mistake. All right, so we've got a sugar. So we're just going to pop that in just to balance off that tomato. It's going to tick it off because I got it right. Yay! Then I've got some sea salt. So I've got a salt in there that I mentioned earlier. So 1 teaspoon of sea salt, half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, which I completely missed. So there you go. Let's do that. So half a teaspoon, that'll be fine. There we go. In handy again. Now then, I'm going to leave that there in case I've forgotten something else. Now we've got balsamic vinegar. So this is our balsamic vinegar. So we've got 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. Love a good balsamic. Yum. And then we'll go next. And now we're going to chop for 5 seconds on speed 4. Just going to grab the little lid for the top just in case anything comes out. All right. And then we're just going to press play. And that's got 5-second chop. We're going to this one because this one's finished. Now that's hot. Don't burn your hands. All right, it says place Veroma with tray into position and secure the lid, which we've done. And go next. And now it's going to cook for 6 minutes on speed 1. And that's going to be our eggs, hopefully done. I reckon it'll need more than 6 minutes, but we'll see. Just because I've put those rings in, it will take a little bit longer to cook, I think. All right, let's go next on the 7. So it says transfer to a bowl and set aside. So let's grab this bowl back that we have used. And this is now our, oh, that smells amazing. And then we're just going to drop this into here. Now, when you're going around with your spatula, for those that are regulars, the rule is we go clockwise only. We do not go anti-clockwise if you're going anywhere near the blade, because if you go anti-clockwise, you will take chunks out of your spatula and you really don't want to do that, okay? So always make sure that you go anti-clockwise. Now that's going to be a little bit runny. So when I actually put that on my toast, I'll probably scoop it up with a fork as opposed to a spoon. But how yummy does that look? Yum. All right. So it says set aside. So we'll set that aside. Then it says place avocados So we're going to put our avocados in. All right, so this is some I prepared earlier. So 400 grams. And we haven't had to clean the bowl, which is always a bonus. Let's put that in there.
You're getting pocket dialed again.
And so we're there. If you can mute yourself if you've got background noise, please, that would be great. Thanks. So we're going to tick that off. Now it says white wine vinegar. I'm actually putting malt vinegar in because I love malt. The flavour is so different to the white vinegar, and just a little bit of extra yumminess. So tick that off, and then fine sea salt. Another teaspoon of sea salt. See, I told you I shouldn't have put your sea salt away. There we go. Oh, actually, I realised I've actually put the 2 teaspoons of salt that I needed for the recipe in all at once. So that's in the tomatoes. Oops. So we'll add a little bit more. I love a bit of salt anyway, but we'll put a bit more into there. And I'm actually going to add an extra ingredient into this as well. The ground black pepper. So we'll put some ground black pepper in as well. There we go. You can certainly see how useful this is in the kitchen. Take that off, and next. And now it's going to mix it for 6 seconds on speed 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, because I like to do a bit of a dish note into my. When you make smashed avocado, I need something else as well, actually. I like to make things to last. So this I'm going to add in because I love a little bit of feta cheese with my smashed avocado. So I'm going to add in some feta. I think that should be right. All them. There we go. Finish off my feta. Got some more. And then what I'm going to add in as an extra is some lemon juice, because the lemon juice will help the avocado to stop it from going black. Because obviously when it oxygenizes, your avocado doesn't look very pretty. It tastes fine, but once it oxygenates, it looks black or brown, and nobody likes it like that. So I'm just going to put probably about that much in, maybe a bit more actually, because I've got quite a bit of avocado in there. And then we're going to pop the lid on. And it's going to do 6 seconds, speed 5 on reverse. Now, reverse blade just means it goes backwards. And when it goes backwards, it's going on the blunt side of the blade, not the sharp side of the blade. So it's just going to mix it as opposed to chop it into tiny mushy pieces. It's gone in mushy pieces anyway, but which smashed avocado, in my opinion, should be smashed, right? So it says transfer to a bowl and set aside. So we'll put that back in our, and this is our smashed avocado. Right, so let's, and of course we didn't need to wash the bowl in between, so that's always a bonus. So when you go around clockwise to scrape it down and then just get it into the bowl, like so. The new spatula actually is very good at scraping out because it's long. It does get a good amount out. Now I've got quite a bit left on the blades. I don't like waste, as you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and if anybody can remember what I do, I'm just going to taste this because yum. That is good. All right. So I'm going to pop this onto a turbo. All right. So we're going to come out of this. We're going to go to the blade symbol. On the blade symbol, we're going to go to turbo. And we're just going to do 1 second speed 1. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second speed turbo is what I should say. Take it off. It's released. When you're doing turbo, your lid locks fully. And then I can just scrape this round. I should have shown you actually, sorry, how much was on the blade before I did this, but that's all right. Too late now, Donna. Too late now. But there you go. Very little waste in the bottom of there. All right. Now, just to stop this from oxygenating, which I'm sure this will tell me to do something similar in a second. go back to the recipe. So when you want to get back to your recipe, you just pull the drop down from the top and select your recipe, and it will take you back to the step you were at. Also, when you put your this down, it has a little nodule so it doesn't touch the bench, which is also a bonus. So it says transfer to the bowl set aside. So I'm just going to pop this on the top. This is my wax sheets that I've made earlier. So I'm just going to pop that on the top just to stop it from oxygenating. It says rinse the mixing bowl. Oh, that's a shocker. We don't like washing. But what I do get to show you when I do this is being able to just give it a very quick clean. So if you're the first time, if you've got a Thermomix for the first time and you're not familiar with cleaning your bowl, there is some settings on your Thermomix that make it super easy to clean your bowl. Okay, so sometimes they're actually built in to the recipe, but if you pull it down from the top, from the cooking center, and you go to it's like a drop of water symbol, then you'll get your quick clean option. So you've got a quick, a universal, a door, browning, fat or caramel. So we're going to go quick, and we're just, and I'm trying to press play and I've got no lid on. So there's the safety feature. If you don't have your lid on, it will not play. So there we go. So I'm just going to do a quick clean. Now you might not hear me for a second while it does that, but I'm just going to check our eggs. Now, when you take your Veroma off, always away from yourself. Right. Now, they're looking good, actually. In fact, they're looking very good. There's our, take your flip forge next. So, well, even I'm impressed. That takes quite a bit. Right. Well, that's just doing its clean. I'm just going to do the next step on this one. Right, that'll do. I'm over that already. All right, I'm going to leave these on here just to keep them warm because I don't need them just yet. Right, so they're going to stay nice and warm. And we're going to go back to our recipe in here. Now, the next part of this recipe is the actual, after we've rinsed, it's going to ask you to add your eggs in. All right, so the egg boiler mode on this machine is amazing, on both of them for that matter. So I'm going to finish this one. If you're on a TM6, you've got what we call the Tinder screen, swipe left, swipe right. I can't call it anything else. I've just got it's built in now. So we swipe across and we go to our egg boiler. And the egg boiler mode is amazing. It tells you've got some instructions, and then once you've got off your instructions, you've got soft, medium, medium hard, or hard. Now on the TM7, if we go, which we're going to go next. This actually is already built in with the instructions, but I'm going to show you the actual manual screen for the egg boiler because I just love this because it's got pictures on it. Now, pictures say 1,000 words, in my opinion. So you've got soft, which is 10 minutes, medium soft, 11 minutes, medium 13, medium hard, 15, or hard is 20. And it gives you that. In fact, it's ticked hard because it knows that I should be doing hard-boiled eggs for this next bit of the recipe. But this bit is absolutely fantastic for putting your eggs in the morning, going in and having a shower, coming back and your eggs are done. That's amazed me actually at how easily those were actually quickly they're cooked. So I'm just going to very, very quickly put my toast in. In fact, my lovely husband has just walked past. He could put the toast in the toaster, couldn't he? Good lad. So he can put the toast in the toaster for the sourdough. And because then we've got the toppings to put on it. Meanwhile, the other things I wanted to talk about is we've got the cutter, which is now the cutter for the TM7 is now in Australia. We actually have stock. So next month we have got availability for demonstrations. And if you have a demonstration and 2 people attend, or you can invite 2 people along to this class on a Thursday night with yourself, and you can get yourself the cutter. So it's a cutter and spiralizer. So do reach out to your consultant, let them know about that you would like the clutter. If you do it that way, you can get a reduced price. If you manage to find a friend who also wants to buy a Thermomix, then you'll also get it even cheaper. But it is a great way of getting your hands on it because it's not going to be available in the mix shop just yet. The other thing is, so we've got a few things. So we've got the trade up, which obviously is available. So I've been through the different options for trade up. So you've got TM31, 250 discount. Well, we're not supposed to say discount, but 250 off. You've got 450 off if you have got a TM5, or you've got 750 if you've got a TM6. Obviously, if it's in need of a service, even better, because you don't have to pay for the service. It can go in dead or alive, even better. Then we've got the TM4U. So the TM4U is the earn offer. So if you would like a Thermomix on your bench, you would like a TM7, it's literally the last 24 hours of this offer, so it will be finishing tomorrow. What that means is that you host a couple of demonstrations, well, 2 or 3 demonstrations over the next 3 months. You become a consultant temporarily, or a newcomer is what we're calling it. You can get a Thermomix on your bench, a TM7, brand new TM7, 0 deposit, and you don't have to pay the remaining balance until January. Now, if you do happen to find a friend who wants to buy, you could get a free cutter and spiralizer for that and a free travel bag. So as long as that sells within the first 30 days. So if you are thinking about that, or you would like to know more about that, please reach out to your consultant, or put something in the chat, and we will be more than happy to help you out with that. The TM7 is a game changer. It's future-proofed. It's got 6 pinholes. The bowl's got 5 pinholes. So it's definitely going to have something exciting coming in the future. So yeah, that's kind of, I suppose that's about it for the class tonight. We're finishing probably right on time. I would like to plate it up, and you can see what it looks like when it's ready. Well, it is ready, obviously, but I'm just waiting on the toast. And then we'll just pop it on the toast, pop some of the smashed avocado on, pop some of the tomato on the top, and then we'll put the egg on top of that. And that's how easy it will be. So I'll just grab these, and hopefully that, oh, it's raining. Hopefully that toast won't be long. And then we will, yeah, then we're done. So if you'd like to press the button, Emmeline, that would be great.